Hi, this is my first ever video, so I'm sorry that it's probably not going to be very good, but I wanted to finally do a readathon. I've been watching BookTube for like over a year now, and I always really want to do the readathons, but I always feel like I can't do them myself because I don't really want to be active on Twitter about them or anything, so I decided to make a video. So welcome to my TBR for the biannual bibliothon, which is hosted, I'm going to read from my phone. It's hosted by Miss Sassy Cassie, Little Red Reader, Little Book Owl, Dylan the Reader 5, Zaria Rose, I could be saying that wrong, I'm so sorry if I am, the BookTube Girl, and Brittany's Book Find. Okay, so there is a group book, but I'm not going to be reading it because I'm a broke college student. So I will be a little bit busy next week, so I don't want to like overwhelm myself, but I still want to do the other challenges. Um, so for the other challenges, here's what I'm going to be reading, and this is just going to be not in order at all. It's just going to be off the top of my head. Okay, so one of the challenges is to read a new to you author, and so for that I'm going to be reading Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. So this book is about Brian Stevenson, who's a lawyer. He does death row cases. I did start it this morning because I didn't know I was going to be doing this. So basically it's just about his experience with some death row inmates, and particularly an innocent one named Walter, who's on death row for a murder he didn't commit. It is nonfiction. My roommate got it for me for Christmas, and everybody who's read it said it made them cry. So another challenge is to read a book that got you into reading, which I've been into reading since I was a child, basically. My mom used to read me Junie B. Jones books, and I just loved reading from there. But one book that I've loved for a really long time, and I'm about halfway through reading because we love cheating, is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So this is about Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, and basically they kind of have feelings for each other, Mr. Darcy first, and then Lizzie later, and they have Pride and Prejudice, that's where the title comes from. And it's basically a society commentary, but I really like it. It's not for everyone, but I really just love the moments in it. So another challenge is to read a book that one of the hosts rated 5 stars. So I have The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, which I also am like 30 pages into. Um, so yeah, like most of these books I've already started. But anyway, I don't know which host rated at 5 stars. I just got a list from Chelsea Dallings Reads' video that I just watched and inspired me to make this one actually. So I'll be reading that. It's about this boy called Nobody, who they call Bod, who is being raised in a graveyard by ghosts. So sounds fun. I think it's middle grade, so it should be an easy read. And then another book that I would like to read for a challenge, which is to read any like adult book, any adult genre, is Black Sun Rising by C.S. Friedman. C.S. Friedman is a woman. This book was published in the 90s, but probably why she did the whole initial thing, just like J.K. Rowling. But my aunt recommended it to me, so I actually don't really have the plot like cemented in my mind, but basically it's about like 4 people on this new planet, and there's these things called Fae. I'm really interested to read it. I really want to get into more adult fantasy. The only really exposure I have to adult fantasy was reading all 5 of the Game of Thrones books when I was like 16. I'm 20 now. And I read The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, which is so fucking good. Anyway, so another challenge, I think this is the last one that I'll be mentioning, is to read a book with an ugly cover. And since I don't really have that many books here because I'm at college and I just have a tiny bookshelf, I'll be picking Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. I just think this cover is kind of hideous and is really like the ugliest of the books that I have here. I know not everybody likes Anne Rice because she doesn't really like fan fiction, but I like reading about vampires. I mean, it's hit or miss, but I think vampires are pretty interesting. And I know this was made into a movie with Brad Pitt, and that it might have some like homosexual undertones. So it was like $3 at a used bookstore. So I picked it up, and okay, hopefully I can read these books. I think I can. I'm on winter break from school, so hopefully I'll have some time to read them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this, and maybe I'll do an update after the bibliothon is over.